Hello, my name's Dave Crane. I'm an improvisational comic book artist, and I'd like to demonstrate my techniques today. Typically what I'll do, what I did at the Lakes International Comic Art Festival last year was get a lot of people together, some help from the Kendal Community Theatre up there, as well as festival organisers, and we had a lot of amazing costumes and things, got people doing strange things in a church hall near the festival. Me and a few other photographers were filming everything, and I can then pull still images out of the stuff that was filmed and improvise a story around it. So not necessarily based on the activities that we were doing at the time. It becomes raw material for the comic strip. I want to show a very simple example of that just now, taking one of the videos that I recorded there and just building up a one-page strip. Show off the technique and show off some of the tools I use. So here we go, we've got a video. These were three guys who just come down for the festival, didn't know they were going to get dragged into the hall and recorded. I'm going to pick on the middle guy with this glowing egg in this sequence. We were getting them to pretend to be Martians and explain how basic things worked to each other. The cup there is one of them, this guy with the eggs, one of the others. And once we've got all the pictures, I'll go into the GIMP, my favourite tool, and I'm going to use a little script that I developed for this to set up a basic grid for the panels, which we're going to draw in now, paint them in with a paintbrush. So there's our basic panels, and now I can import all of the still images that I've taken. I need 9 for the final panels. I think I made 10 here. It's always nice to have 1 or 2. So I'm now just going to, on the fly, rearrange them into what looks like a story. So he's showing somebody something. He's looking a bit sort of fed up by the end of it, or exasperated. I think we've got a spare picture somewhere behind the back. There we go. Smile at the end. So I want to use that one. I think I want to stick that at the end, maybe. And I don't want to get them all lined up too nicely. There's a horizontal bar across there, so we'll move them up and down a bit. It can be fairly messy at the moment. I'm going to use another tool in a minute just to trim everything into the grid. Right, there's our final layout. Run this tool here. This is another little add-on which I developed. Pop. There we go. So I've got everything flattened down into one layer now, and I can play around with the thresholding tool to see what balance looks right to get a sort of a kind of graphics look. And I've fed some values that I do like into my third tool here, which is going to allow me to cross-hatch over the top of the picture. So I'm going to set the base colour that'll sit behind the cross-hatching to a sort of sepia tone here. A lot of this is going to get destroyed, and I'm going to use the built-in oilify tool to sort of fuzz that up so it's not quite as sharp and photographic. Still looks like a photo at the moment, but most of what you see just now is going to disappear under some other graphics things. So I've got a custom brush now, which is built up from my some cross-hatching scribbles that I've done, scanned in with a flatbed scanner, and I'm going to use that. Let's zoom in a bit so you can see. So I'm starting to cross-hatch over. And because of the way I've set these layers up in the script, it's only going to cross-hatch over the areas which are in shadow, so it'll pick him up. Let's go in at a different angle again, go over it, and I'm going to take a second layer of cross-hatching over some of the details to get his hands and face and things coming out more clearly. That middle panel there, just the amount of darkness with his face down in the shadow, that's quite nice and dramatic. Get the smile and things. Right, so let's make that other layer invisible now. And then start to use a paintbrush to just pull some of the colours back in. The egg reappears here quite nicely. It looks like much more mysterious and whatever, doesn't it, when it's sort of just reappearing behind the colours there. So I just want to touch this up. You know, we're now getting something that's a bit more kind of graphic. Obviously it still does come from a photo. But for now, for this year, this is a style that I like and is quite easy to work with in this workflow. So while I've been doing all of this cross-hatching, I'm starting to think of a story. What's he going to do with this egg? What does it do? It's something for storing bad memories in, and he's trying to sell you one, but the twist is, because you store your memories inside it, halfway through he forgets what he's telling you. Like the little time worms in the Doctor Who thing, really, I suppose. It's not original. I'm not going to win any prizes for the writing here, but this is just a one-page doodle, really. So there we go, and ... He's forgotten what he's on about now. I was telling you something. I'll just I like to position things as I go. You know, leave a lot of space. A lot of the time, I actually work with taller, thinner panels, and if we want to fit more dialogue in, and just make sure that everything fits. I don't like that line, so I'm going to throw it away and just put something else in. Come back to me. I think we need something before that. Just hang on a minute. Don't go away or something like that. Yeah, that all fits in nicely. Just align them up. Right, so now just to do the speech bubbles, I'm going to draw these on with a selection tool. I like angular speech bubbles. I don't know why, most people go for round ones. I realised the other day that Frank Miller's Ronin drew the speech bubbles this way, and I think I must have been at an impressionable age when I read that. In terms of story and the style and everything, this is nothing like Ronin, but there it is. It's stuck inside me now, so I'm just, they're nice and easy to draw as well, but I like the middle one, and where he's forgetting what he's talking about, just leave the stalk off that, just leave it floating in the air above him. So there we go, we've drawn them in. Now with that selection there, I can colour them in. Let's pick a shade of blue to sort of offset the brown of the background colour. Again, I like to paint the speech bubbles, you know, they're not really there, they're flat things, but you know, I like a bit of texture on them there. And now I'm going to convert them into a path and turn them into things. So they're overhanging the panels quite badly. Last thing is just to go in with a ruler. I'm going to select all of the background from the grid, go in with a rubber rather than a ruler, and just tidy them up like that. There we go. There's our one-page comic strip done in the bag. 21 minutes. Cheers. So there we go. There's a one-page comic strip created in about 20 minutes. I sped the video up here to just to keep it brief. If you want to find more about this project, I'm working on some much longer material as well. You can have a look at the website address above, or you can follow me on Twitter as well. I should be attending some of the festivals this year, hopefully the LICAF, possibly one or two others in the UK. So come along and say hello. You might even end up in one of my comic strips. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.